So I was watching the weather this morning. I wasn't going to do a video. It's the same thing over and over and over with the Doppler beams. But right here in Florida, you can see the long red channel they created. A heated front. Multiple tornadoes in that channel. Well, someone just told me today that they had a house in Florida that got hit by a tornado, ripped the roof off. And I would say, well, that's strange because I was looking at the Doppler this morning in Florida. I see exactly what they're doing. This guy had his house destroyed. Apparently you can't get insurance for natural disasters in Florida. So he's out probably $300,000 to $500,000 because of this. And he doesn't believe me, so I'm going to go ahead and make a video now. I wasn't really going to make a video, but I don't know. If people aren't listening, it doesn't really do me much good. And who am I? I'm not a scientist. I'm just showing you obvious. They're putting this on the internet. They're showing everybody. It's pretty obvious. All this phased array scattered beaming is not part of the cloud system. So I don't know how people can make excuses or ignore the facts. And people are losing their homes or losing their lives because of this weather modification on purpose. And anytime science figures out to do something, they always make it worse. That's why I'm used to be into science, and now I'm kind of going the other direction because, you know, you're lying about going to the moon. Everyone thinks space is cold. You're lying about weather modification. You put out a paper by the Air Force saying weather control by the year 2025. Well, 2025 is next year. So I know people find it hard to believe that microwaves can do all these different things, but they don't know anything about electronics or microwaves. They say, well, I'm a smart person, so that doesn't make sense. And no, you're not a smart person, because this makes completely sense. All weather is controlled by the sun in the first place, and the sun is electromagnetic. So by using electromagnetic beams to control the weather, it's quite simplistic, very simple, very easy. Chemtrails can cause a cooling. They can cause it to stop raining by creating a thermal layer. Heating can create tornadoes, hurricanes. I've gone over this for 15 years, and I still haven't. I've only found a few people that can even understand what I'm saying here. So don't expect too many videos in the future, because I've got all these videos that I've done for 15 years that people just don't believe. And so I'm to the point where I just can't help you anymore. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the damage that happened because of this storm. And the funny thing is here, suspected tornadoes. There's the damage. If it wasn't a tornado, what was it? Or is this like, we don't want to say anything because you haven't been read your rights yet? Or it could have been a non-tornado wind. We don't want to admit that. We don't want to admit that tornadoes did anything bad down here. We suspect this was a tornado. Well, I don't. The person I talked to told me a tornado flattened his house. He knows pretty well what happened. And how do you suspect a tornado? That doesn't make any sense. So we don't want to admit anything here, so just turn the other way, and nothing to see here. Thank you very much. And here we go again. A possible tornado ravages parts of the Panhandle. Possible tornado. So here we go. Finally. 3 tornadoes. 3 possible tornadoes. 3 possible tornadoes in the Panhandle. And the Panhandle's what? 100 miles wide, maybe? Something like that. I think we need to look at the Georgia and Alabama and see how many tornadoes we really had. So apparently the storm's still going on. We have tornado warnings in these counties. Tornado warning in the islands. Tornado warning here. I don't live in this area. Tornado warnings continue. Tornado warnings issued. Tornado warnings issued for southeast Georgia. More tornado warnings. Tornado watch. It's a possible tornado, but we don't know. We have to keep an eye out. That's Georgia. There's Florida again. There's where it hit.
And here we go, a huge weather system with far-reaching impacts. We're taking a look at the big scope here. There is a lot of winter weather on the far northern side of it. We're going to find part of our viewing area in this zone eventually here behind the warm front and ahead of the cold front. That's where the severe weather threat is currently, where there have been several severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, and that tornado risk may start to spread a little farther northward with time. So that's really what we're paying closest attention to on the short term. Is does that warmer air move even farther north? It's already significantly warmer in LaGrange and Thomaston than it is on the north side of town, where we have temperatures in the 30s and a big shield of steady, soaking, heavy rain and strong winds to go along with it. So we're going to take a little radar tour here, check in on a few areas. This is a spot that's already picked up the highest rainfall totals overnight, and it's where the heaviest is falling now. Northwest Georgia, not letting up over several counties, so unavoidable, the rain there. A little more easily dodged here, if you will, if we move farther east and south, but that will not remain the case. If it is dry where you are now, it will not stay that way. This is going to fill in and bring a lot of people rain, and our stronger winds should come with this line right here, which is rapidly moving through Randolph and Cleburne counties in Alabama for our viewers there, getting ready to cross.
It's moving rapidly because of the jet stream.
Currently no warnings along this, but if we are going to get winds strong enough to prompt a severe thunderstorm warning, or if we see any rotation along this line, this is where it's going to happen first. All right, so these are the sustained winds. They're already strong enough in their own right, but it's the higher gusts that we're experiencing now and will continue to experience throughout the day. They could really create some additional trouble, especially when you've got numbers like 38 miles.
And there's your twist. You have a backward flow of the jet stream.
More saturated. That could lead to some trees coming down and some scattered
So, typical mess. Manufactured. That's the way it is.